Hi, my name is Gordon Domowski, and I am really grateful to be here at the Pop Culture Conference on Superheroes, despite it being remote. And I'm also here to talk about one of my favorite superhero series, as well as some of the pulp tropes that occur within that very series. I am a new pulp author. I've been published by Pro Se Productions, Airship 27, and I've also had have a short story in Pilot Studios' Always Punch Nazis comic anthology. If you'd like more information, you can find me at my website and my work on Amazon. And the link for both is on this slide. Sandman Mystery Theater was actually created and formulated by Matt Wagner, based on the classic Golden Age character created by Gardner Fox. And it was started as in the midst of Neil Gaiman's run on Sandman, as part of DC's Vertigo imprint. And DC at the time was kind of refining a lot of its Golden and Silver Age concepts and using those to drive stories in series like Chase and Starman. And Sandman Mystery Theater ran for 70 issues and featured the adventures of the Sandman, aka Wesley Dodds. And when you look at the kind of the pulp archetypes and precursors to the character, one of that strikes out is that he's pretty much the Robin Hood archetype. Kind of dealing with both the upper class and lower class, kind of dealing with corruption amongst the wealthy, as well as crimes amongst the poor. You can see a lot of this in Johnston McCauley's Zorro and post-Zorro work. So Curse of Capistrano in 1919 kind of codified all the superhero tropes we know, but McCauley had other characters like the Man in Purple, the Green Ghost, the Thunderbolt, the Avenging Twins, and it's really worth exploring. And another precursor, even pre-McCauley, was Frank L. Packard's Jimmy Dale and Gray Seal stories about a gentleman thief who received mysterious notes about committing crimes, the same way that Dodds has dreams driven by his relationship, quote-unquote, with Morpheus, Gaiman's Sandman. And this creates a drive in Dodds, which is reminiscent of the Spider, the popular publications character who was written primarily by Norvell Page under the nom de plume of Grant Stockbridge. Now, every superhero needs a romantic interest, and for Wesley Dodds and Sandman, that interest is Diane Belmont, who is very atypical of other pulp heroines. The good thing is that, like Dashiell Hammett's work with Nick and Nora Charles and the Thin Man, she resembles a lot of leads who are more equal partner than just a simple romantic interest. Unlike traditional pulp heroines, she never endured the I must put off being together with my significant other permanently until his mission to restore justice is over, because it's never over. But it explores how Dodds' activities impacts on the relationship and how they think about the relationship. And it's very interesting to see that arc over the 70 issues. Now, there's always a significant adversary, and one of Dodds' adversaries was Lieutenant Anthony Burke. He's pretty much the corrupt cop we've seen in a lot of noir and pulp writing. He's also signified as a racist. He's disowned his sister because she married a black man. He's kind of combination ally and enemy, and you see this in the work of Arsène Lupin by Maurice LeBlanc, a lot in the Black Bat pulps with Wayman Jones with the character of McGrath, and McCauley in his post-Zorro work often has like an authority figure that the hero has to rail against, and there is Burke provides kind of a nice counter to Wesley Dodds' Sandman. He doesn't quite accept Sandman towards the end, but it goes from near adversarial to mostly a you stay out of my way, I'll stay out of yours, to an uneasy collaboration. Now, a lot of the highlights of the series is that it explores various themes that were then contemporary, or still are contemporary, around sexuality, race, and gender, within the backdrop of pre-World War II New York. And it focuses on some of the tensions that are arising before the beginning of World War II. And in fact, one of the key themes that's reminiscent of both Raymond Chandler's work with Philip Marlowe and Ross MacDonald's work with Lou Archer is exploration of the sins of the family. One of the highlights towards the middle of the run, starting around issue 25, is that several Golden Age DC characters like Hourman, Starman, and the Crimson Avenger are seen through a pulp noir lens. So you might want to check out the Man of the Hour arc and the Mist arc. And finally, in 1995, there was a one-shot with Sandman Midnight Theater, which kicked off the exploration of how Morpheus, Gaiman's Sandman, and Wesley Dodds were kind of related. And the best way to explain it is that there is a, quote, aspect of Morpheus in Dodds. But this is one-shot that's worth seeking out, like the rest of the series. And a lot of you who are watching this are wondering, well, how do I learn more? I've written a paper looking at the series in detail, and that will be included in the booklet that arises from the conference. The first 7 arcs, so issues 1 through 52, so everything from the Tarantula to Return of the Scarlet Ghost, which is also a great arc in and of itself, are available as separate trades. But there are 2 larger collections available, and you can see the cover to issue 1. Book 2 you might want to check out for some of Gaiman, for Matt Wagner's proposal for Sandman Mystery Theater. And do you have any questions or need clarification? There's my email. Thank you very much for your time, and enjoy the rest of the conference.